Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your April 2021 general reading. This reading is general, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You may get a little out of it, you may get a lot out of it, but feel free to check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. I also personally like to check my midheaven, so if you're familiar with your natal chart placements, that's always a good way to go as well. So when I was sitting and meditating on the cards, there's something about transparency and rationality that came up. And so the way that I was really feeling the message behind these two words coming through was it's time to be extremely honest about where you are trying to over rationalize certain decisions or situations versus what your true intentions are. Sometimes we settle for things because we feel like that is just the way reality works, right? Instead of really challenging our beliefs, instead of really challenging and meeting the conditions that we've placed upon us or that we've accepted in a situation. So it could be you just getting really honest, seeing something with a bit more clarity or transparency, and then allowing that to influence the way you process something internally. So without further ado, which I say a lot, let's get into your cards. So I'm going to pull, I'm going to start by pulling three major arcana cards just to get the foundation of our energies for our energies, because yeah, I'm a Sagittarius, for the month of April. So yeah, you'll know I'm invested in this. I'm invested in this reading just a little bit, but we'll see what comes through. Also, check the description box below. I put links to the cards, the decks that I'm using, as well as how to book a one-on-one session with me if you'd like a reading that's a little more personal, as well as a link to donate if you'd like to share some love, and a link to my course, Total Tarot, which is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying putting that course out to folks. There's all kinds of spreads and really interesting learning and explanation kind of coming through there. And oddly enough, one of the cards that I just pulled was one I just posted a spread about in that course. Okay, so Sagittarius, we have the World card, the Sun card, and the Empress in the reverse. So let's start off with this World card here. This World card, I feel like you've been holding out for something, really holding space, waiting for some type of new beginning to occur. I feel like something is on the horizon, but are feeling rather unsupported in getting there, or allowing that space to open up for you. And it could be you've been clinging tight to some type of situation, hoping that it will blossom into something a little bit bigger, a little bit more committed in some way. And it's almost just like you're kind of laying there like, come on, like, when are you going to pick me? Pick me, pick me. I feel like I said something about like getting picked for dodgeball. Either it was in your reading from last month or another, but I feel like this energy has carried over from some time in the past, perhaps. And it could be something that you felt many times throughout your journey, Sagittarius. But I feel like when you stop trying to fix things or mend things in the sense that you're hoping for a better outcome, you're going to get lucky. I feel like there's something about you really setting the stage for success to happen quickly, for this new beginning to happen rather quickly. And it has to do with like, stop trying to fix something that's broken. I think Libra also got a similar message too within their reading. So if you have any Libra placements in your chart, then definitely check that reading out as well. But I just get that it's time to kind of let go of some spaces that are situations that have only really resulted in become kind of a dead end of sorts. There's no new growth happening there, accept it. But it's like you could also be really wanting to stay there because it's like you made your bed, like lie in it. And it's like, no, not really. You can always there's always time to buy a new bed or to maybe couch go chill on the couch for a little bit. But it's like, allow a chance for you to choose something differently, even if it feels a little uncomfortable or different, or you're putting self out there, you're going into a new space. I feel like it's very necessary for you in order to keep growing and keep expanding whatever it is that you've committed yourself to. I feel like that's very important. And it's like, no matter if you feel like, you failed in some type of way, I feel like success is already here. You just have to really do a few adjustments in order to see it, in order to recognize it. You can, sometimes where we're standing doesn't always look great to us, but to other people it looks fantastic. And so that's another thing that I'm really picking up here. I feel like whatever's coming in is super fated for you, but at the same time, you've been really fixed and set on something. I feel like you are trying to change maybe some type of habit that you feel like you have, or some way of doing things. But it's okay to also be adaptable and to sometimes leave something behind if it's just not working out. I know, Sagittarius, we're a mutable sign. And so, a lot of people may think that we like, we're a little escapist or like zany. We may like quit things, but it's just like, it's because we're sticking to our truth. We're being honest. We know what we believe in. And if someone's not willing to align with us on that front, then it's like, bye. Bye. So that's what I'm getting with that world card. And it could also just have you feeling like, maybe, and on a much larger scale, I feel like a lot of us, and the way that the readings have been going throughout April, is a lot of us are kind of waiting. I don't want to say waiting for the next shoe to drop, but like waiting, it's almost like waiting to put on the next shoe, right? To get going, to get out there, to hit the ground running in some way. And take a little sip of my coffee there. All right. And so here we are with the Sun card. And it's interesting. So I did post like a spread in my tarot course, Total Tarot, about the Sun card. It was all about solar consciousness and how the sun is a great symbol for enlightenment, in that it shifts, like in relation to the earth, it shifts angles or perspectives in order to shed light on spaces that were once in the dark, as well as for us to observe the darkness in new spaces. So it's like the shifting of energy where you're able to play with maybe some type of duality or perspective, like what our beliefs are and what is good versus what is bad. And it's like that's always changing, that's always moving, that's always shifting based off of the role that we play or the position that we're in a specific situation. And I feel like with the Sun card, it's about you changing positions in some way. It's about you being a little bit more adaptable, maybe a little bit more versatile in whatever it is that you're hoping to bring to fruition here, Sagittarius. I feel like a little variety can go a long way, go a long way with you, as well as like figuring out kind of where your influence is. Because I feel like people are approaching you and telling you things about yourself that you may not necessarily believe, whether they be good or bad, but it's helping you recognize kind of where you end up. I don't want to say triggering people, but where you end up kind of awakening or shaking things up in some form or fashion. And so through that, it's not that, people's opinions matter necessarily, but sometimes it's nice to get that outside perspective to see where we're making an impact, I guess I should say, Sagittarius. So there's that, as well as I'm feeling, you're leaving the past behind. You're getting much deeper and more grounded in who you are. I feel like there's a lot of embodiment that's occurring at this time, and you're allowing yourself to be more authentic, allow your individual unique nature to shine a bit more. I feel like you've been holding back just a bit because you've been waiting, that in that pick me energy and that choose me energy. But like, how can you allow other people to choose you if you're not showing up fully? And it's like, you could have maybe created some types of fears, or you've kind of, moved in silence to some degree. Maybe people thought you were a bit of a mystery, but it's like, and that's what caused maybe a little bit of confusion and chaos in a lot of situations that you have experienced, Sagittarius. But I feel like there's no more. It's like a rebirth. And a lot of people are going to see you and no longer recognize you. And then some people are going to see you and they're going to be like, aha, there they are. There's Sagittarius. It's good to see you like coming through and showing up and doing the dang thing, being you, doing you. But here, it's interesting, we have this Empress card, and I don't necessarily feel like it's you, Sagittarius. I feel like it's someone who wanted to benefit from you. I feel like this is someone kind of returning and just trying to see if they can plant another seed to get you back into that space that we were talking about at the top of the reading. But I feel like, it's almost like a foreign space to you by the time that this information comes in, by the time someone tries to um, kind of collect or contain or capitalize on your energy, and you're just not having it. I feel like there's something like, it seems almost like there would be a little bit of imposter syndrome if you stepped into this space. And I mean the kind in that that it's not a good fit. Maybe there's certain types of rules, regulations, or standards that you would have to adhere to that just don't fall in line with this unique expression of self that you're committing yourself to moving forward, Sagittarius. So I feel like it's very important to keep that in mind. It's weird. I'm kind of getting this kind of like Yoshi's Island, this video game I used to love, vibes, or like Yoshi would be carrying baby Mario, but like enemy or something would knock Yoshi, and then Mario would be in that little bubble. And so it's like, if you allow yourself to be open to any kind of attack or something that isn't good for you, you're gonna end up like whatever you want or whatever you're trying to protect or hold on to is then gonna get caught in that bubble again. It's like you're gonna be kind of knocked away from it. So be really mindful of any communications or offers that come in this month, because not all of them are for you, and it's very important for you to recognize that. It may also have you going back into protective mode in some way, and recognize that that may not be telling you about your energy, but it's telling you more about the energy of the situation or the person that you may decide whether or not you want to commit to or join forces with. So be very mindful of that, Sagittarius. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. And I feel like here, there's part of you that feels the need to kind of like strategize and really control a situation, but it's not coming from a good place. Allow things to unfold. Allow, it's kind of like a roulette table is what I'm getting. It's like, place your bets. You may get disappointed. You may not always get what you want on your turn, but at some point you're going to hit the jackpot. You're going to hit the jackpot. So I think it's about being patient, maybe watching the table and not fully engaging in the game, but knowing when it's time to swoop in, like crane energy is really big. Swoop in and take that moment of opportunity. It's going to be small. It's going to be quick. It's going to be subtle, but you're going to know and you're going to be drawn to it. It's going to feel a certain resonance with you. I feel like here, Sagittarius. I'm also getting like kind of a like condor, like vulture energy. And it's like, for a bit, you may be feeling like you're kind of like working off of scraps, doing the best you can with what you got. But I feel like, I want to see what's on the other side. The Chariot's on the other side of this card. So it's like, but as long as the goal is to keep moving forward and to commit to your unique style of being and navigating situations and participating with whatever it is that you do or whoever you are committed to, and your tribe, your commitments, your relationships, I feel like you're going to have success. I feel like there are going to be a lot of unknowns this month, Sagittarius, and there usually are. I mean, just think about it. We get up every day. Every day is uncertain. We never know, we're going to slip and fall and hurt ourselves, or worse yet, So it's like, just easy, be calm, cool, collected, and present. I feel like, you're going to have a lot of things happening that coincide within this lunar cycle. I also feel like, what do I have coming in here? I also feel like it's your move. It's your move, Sagittarius. So choose wisely. It's like we're playing chess here, not checkers. You can't just bounce around from thing to thing. And you know this. And I think that that's why at the top of the reading, you were afraid about leaving some type of space or situation behind, or some mode of thinking behind, because you've realized that you're playing a much different game now than perhaps you were before. So let's pull a few oracle cards, Sagittarius. Ooh, we had a couple drop out already. I'm going to take the one that actually flew, that was sitting upright on the floor here, and it's harmony. This is the Sun in Libra. Remember, I was talking about Libra's reading as well. So for those of you who do have Libra placements or are dealing with a Libra, I feel like it is really good for you to check out their reading. Okay. So with this harmony card, I feel like you have a lot of news coming in, whether or not you recognize it. I think part of that is in the letting go and finding harmony within yourself, recognizing your own unique talents and gifts. Again, we have the sun showing up in here again with that adaptability, those different rays kind of emitting off of it. And it's just like also recognizing that no matter what is in our life, it is teaching us about ourselves. And I feel like you're learning what you jive with. So when you choose something, recognize the energy that's there. And is that part of who you're becoming? Is that part of what, does that fall in line with your intention and what you truly want for yourself? It's like you can have it now, but you got to choose the things that fall in alignment to what it is you want to feel, who it is you want to be, what it is you want to do, right? You can't look into something and see the potential because there are things missing, right? You got to already know what's there so you can actually have something to work with, is what I'm getting with this card. It's very important. It's like you don't have to end up sitting on a bunch of thorns in order to be among the roses. You know, you can be more selective and create a bouquet that you can enjoy. It may be temporary, but at least you are at least it's a little bit more comfortable, you know, and you can always, and there's always more abundance to pull from later. It's like, you know, it's not just the one bouquet, the one and done. It's like, you know, situations come and go, people come and go, and that's okay. You don't have to sit where you feel like there's growth if it's uncomfortable and if it's a pain in your butt. You know what I mean? Those are way too many cards, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna reshuffle here. Also, I feel like someone may have treated you kind of like a child in some way. Maybe using you to maybe make them feel better, or using you in some way that made you feel like there was some type of hope within a certain connection, but that really wasn't the case at all, right? Because it's like it wasn't fair, it wasn't reciprocal. That's really what I feel here. And so it's like you've matured a bit, Sagittarius, and you're seeing that. And some people might fear that, or not be down with it, you know? They're not getting down with you. So extremism is the next card that came out. Okay, so I feel a certain level here of needing to keep things on the low. Like if you're working on something new, you're making some moves, do it in silence, because I feel like someone's going to try to come in and fill you with doubts or fill you with some type of fear. I feel like they're going to try to tell you what to do, maybe offering you some type of contract. Be careful of contracts at this time. Be very mindful of them. Whatever you get into, be willing to negotiate. I feel like, you know, you're in a space where you have all of the resources that you need, but someone's coming from a place because they're trying to save a sinking ship, is what I'm getting. They're trying to save some type of sinking ship, but it's not really going to work out. I feel like someone has created a lot of mischief in a situation because they've allowed their subconscious to become the end all be all authority in their life. So a lot of their fears are what they work from and believe is They believe that whatever their wisdom is truly rooted in fear and protection and insecurity in some degree. It's almost like they're trying to force their worldview on you, and you're just not having it. There's new boundaries being set. You have your own types of, I don't want to say fantasies, but you have your own ideas of the world that you want to meet, and you're really doing your best to create the recipe, create the right steps, the process in order to bring it to fruition. It's like you got the magic in you, Sagittarius, and people are trying to tell you what you can and can't do, and step on your seedlings in some way. And maybe they're judging some of the work that you're doing. Maybe they're looking really hard at some of the things that you've got going, probably trying to snoop a little bit in order to figure out, okay, what can I tell them is wrong? Where can I kind of put that fear in? And it's interesting. The next card we have is flirtation. It came out in the reverse. This is Venus in Sagittarius. Very interesting. So yeah, I feel like, whoever you deal with could be maybe some type of narcissist, maybe some type of person who likes to come in and flatter you and make you feel good in the short term, but will also try to get you to commiserate with them in some form or fashion. I feel like there's someone who likes to test the waters, to see what you want, to see what you're fearing, to kind of get the intel on you, Sagittarius. But I feel like with all of the work that you're doing and being unique, being your own free agent, there's a lot of protection in that. There's a lot of protection in that. And I also feel like you're able to catch things a lot sooner than you would have as a previous version of yourself, Sagittarius. And so I feel like you're not going to be careful. Don't let people know what you're focused on right now. Just do it. Less talk, more action is what I'm getting here, Sagittarius. And any tension that the situation creates probably, I feel like, only propels you forward, and in a way offers you some type of truth that you're able to then ride out and kind of transform it through whatever it is that you're doing or you're planning to do at this time, Sagittarius. So I feel like in whatever this situation is, this conflict or this confrontation or this offer, it's adding more fuel to your fire, and in a good way. It's really helping you become more passionate, because it's like, in a way, you're kind of seeing where you're a threat, and that's allowing you to recognize where some of your gifts lie, where some of your value is. Because remember, I was talking about before, like people coming in and kind of in weird ways letting you know where your uniqueness lies. And it's so funny with these oracle cards, we have 7, 8, 9. What? So yeah, definitely some progressive energy here. We're seeing things move forward. But it's in a very interesting way. It's like you're looking at things differently. It's that enlightenment we were talking about. I'm loving how the sun keeps kind of popping through many of these cards here, Sagittarius. I feel like that's amazing. And I also feel, and this is just kind of due to my own personal feelings and what I'm picking up from this, I feel like when the sun changes signs, you're gonna see a lot of this happening. And I know a lot of people have been talking about Uranus and Saturn in interesting setup later this month that's going to create some surprising news. And it could be something like this, where it's like you end up having some type of awakening or download or epiphany moment due to some type of disagreement, or moving away from some type of association, relationship, situation. All right, so the next two cards we have here, we have the Judgment card in reverse, and we have the Nine of Swords. So I feel like there's been a lot of worry about whether or not like your calling has been worth it, whether or not you're cut out to make something happen. I feel like you've been taking things rather personally up until this point, Sagittarius, doubting yourself in some way because what you feel yet what is being presented to your in your physical reality isn't really matching up, and it hasn't really matched up. It's like you feel like you've done all the things that you can do, and maybe you felt like you reached some type of dead end where you have to make a tough decision. But I feel like you're moving out of this energy, Sagittarius, of all of this worry and doubt, and you're entering a space that is more allowing you a little bit more sovereignty, a little bit more freedom. I feel like you've been lying in the bed of the past. You know, I was talking about the bed earlier, and it's interesting that the bed came up here in this Nine of Swords. So it's like, yeah, you're getting up. You're not, you're not allowing yourself to continue to rest in that place. Or feel restless in that place. And we have this Four of Pentacles. So again, signifying that it's important for you to hold it down in some way. You're going to have to manage your finances and resources with a little bit more discipline at this time, Sagittarius. Yes, things maybe feel a little bit tight, a little bit constricted, but I feel like, if you do your best to be disciplined and really lean into what you got and find gratitude for, I feel like it's like right now you have just enough. You have just enough, and that is plenty to feel okay about, right? Sometimes having just enough is all we need in order to feel a little bit of encouragement, right? Instead of feeling worry. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles. And so it's like you're just, it's like, things are on the horizon for you, like I said. But I feel like, there's something that you're overlooking. Maybe you're trying to seek out things external from you in order to receive some type of balancing out or some harmony or some abundance in your life, but you're not seeing kind of where you stand currently. It's like maybe you're so busy looking outward for some type of opportunity, you forgot to look inward. So I feel like it's time to get creative. Time to get creative and cultivate something that again really speaks to your talents and gifts. Again, recognize where you're getting acknowledgement, whether it seems like criticism or otherwise, because that is ultimately where the fruits of your labor will be most successful, Sagittarius. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Okay, we have the Temperance card. It was in the reverse, so it was suggesting a little bit of impatience here. I feel like you've allowed yourself to believe things are rather one-sided, or maybe your thoughts have been a little one-sided or a little too hyper-focused in one area. And I feel like it's time to heal that, to really expand the mental and emotional body so you can play with what's there and allow that creativity to shine. This is your card, Sagittarius. So you got to step into your Saggy energy, my friend. So if you need a crash course, like a refresher on who the F Sagittarius is, do so, because that is going to help you stand in your power. And I feel like also that's what people need to know. Maybe instead of waiting around, you just show up anyway. Be authentic, be zany, be funny, be forward, share your beliefs. Here we have the Eight of Wands reversed. So I feel like, once you step in, once you stop being a little bit one-sided, because that is ultimately what's slowing you down, you open up a bit more, things are going to move rather quickly for you. You're going to feel this sense of like stability and being able to accomplish stuff. Something new will come up and you're going to be able to take charge. And then we have this King of Wands here. And I feel like this is you rising up the ranks, being at the top of your game, really being able to look at everything that you've learned and be able to use it. It's like, man, I've really come through a lot. I've overcome a lot, right? And it's like, now is my chance to claim my throne, sit in my power, live out my I am, and really in a way motivate others I feel you motivating others, helping others kind of heal and figure things out for themselves in a way that is rather unprecedented, and really necessary at this point in time, Sagittarius. I feel like you wear your confidence like a cape, and sometimes you get a little swallowed up in it, right? You know, a little bit of the ego comes through, but I feel like ultimately, if you honor what everything that you've come from and everything that you've um, overcome, you're able to move forward in a way that's humble, but is also very it's like you challenge others in a good way. You know, you challenge people to look at things from a different perspective, and you really instill people with a certain amount of passion. And so I feel like I feel like now with this Two of Wands, you're gonna have a choice now in the way that you move through the world. There may be something that you feel like you can action now, and so you're maybe weighing out two options, see what type of path that they lead you toward. But I feel like ultimately there's one thing that you're going to be like, not right now. And then this Page of Cups comes through. So I feel like also don't allow your emotions to trick you too much. It's like I feel like it's very necessary for you not to play around with the things that you've learned, because that's the most important, right? Is like, you know, our experience is important, and it's like once you get into that good feeling and knowing how to utilize the struggle and the hardship that you've come out of and how you've adapted and grown and matured, it's necessary for you to play with that, but not try to play outside of that, if that makes sense. So try your best not to be too risky, and allow yourself to always check in with your energy. Check in with how you're feeling. Are you feeling like, are you feeling like Sagittarius? Are you feeling like X, Y, or Z? Are you feeling like out of your space, out of your depth? If so, don't, you know, or challenge it even. But like you gotta be able to step up to the plate and be you. And if you feel like you can't do that, you need to abandon ship. Um, but anyway, Sagittarius, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Again, if you'd like something a little more personalized, book a one-on-one session or reading with me. Link is down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.